The fourth commandment is honor your father and mother. To the world, this commandment can be interpreted and practiced in many different ways. In the literal sense, one could simply honor and respect their biological mother and father. However, this commandment can mean much, much more than that. For example, the mother in the commandment could be Mother Nature, the earth. The father could simply be God the Father. The mother and father could be anyone older than you, like the faculty and teachers at your school or your grandparents. The fourth commandment is one of the most important commandments. For me, I believe that this is the commandment that can be interpreted in any of the ways I listed. The church thinks that this obviously applies to children and their biological parents, for their relationship is the most universal. However, I think that this commandment has several meanings. It can mean earth, your biological parents, God, or simply any elder or teacher. When the commandment talks about honoring your father and your mother, the word honor can mean several different things. Some ways to honor them are simple, while others are more complex. Appreciation is one of the biggest ways to honor them. Showing them the gratitude for everything that they do. Too often, teens especially, go through their day without saying thank you to their parents for everything they do. You could also honor them silently and not to their face by saying a prayer of thanksgiving to God for putting them in your life. These are just a few examples in which one can honor their biological father and mother, and these ways are simple yet very powerful. As time has gone on, more and more people have spoken out about climate change. Many schools and businesses have taken action to try to protect our planet from the harm that we are causing. Nearings Hall recently started composting and has always recycled. Just since February, when Nearings started composting, they have diverted 6 tons of trash from landfills. While this is just one school doing that, many schools have also begun to compost. There are also several activists and people who have spoken out about this issue. Greta Thunberg started its school strike for climate outside the Swedish parliament, and it has now spread worldwide. She has had multiple interviews as well as she has her very own TED Talk. She herself tries to live a very low carbon life as she is vegan and does not fly. She is known as the Swedish climate activist and has started a strike that now over 100,000 school children participate in. Greta believes that we must care for the earth. This belief is similar to the fourth commandment when it says, honor your father and mother. We need to care for God's creation and honor our mother, nature, by living low-carbon lives and doing our part to save the earth. Driving a car is polluting the air and is also an example of a way to not live a low-carbon life. But what if you can't walk to work or school and yet you still want to live a low-carbon life? Often teens don't show respect to authority, especially teachers. Many times these teens think that they can do as they please and it doesn't matter what their test-giving teacher says, however they are wrong. Teachers also need to be honored and shown that they are appreciated, which is why Teacher Appreciation Week is a very important week for students to honor their teachers and all that they do for their students. I like to use this week as a time to thank my teachers and show them that what they do is appreciated. Teachers are often overlooked by people, and students must learn to honor them and care about everything that they do for their students. A way to honor an elder is by holding the door for them and/or having the respect to give up your seat to them. These are common acts of courtesy, and they can really show how much you respect and honor them. When I hear the commandment, honor your father and mother, I don't normally think about God as the father in that commandment. However, God is the Father, so he deserves to be honored. You can honor God in many ways. One way is by not taking the Lord's name in vain. This is an easy way, and it's also very important considering it is also a commandment. Another way to honor God is to pray to him and talk to him. Honoring him could also mean saying a prayer of thanksgiving to him for everything that he does for us. In some situations, people get mad at God, which goes against honoring God the Father. But what if someone whom you loved has died and God is supposed to be watching over them? The fourth commandment also relates to 2 Catholic social teachings: care for God's creation and solidarity. This Catholic social teaching, care for God's creation, means that we must show our respect for the Creator by our stewardship of creation. Caring for the earth is not just an Earth Day slogan. It is a requirement of our faith. We are called to protect the people and the planet. living our faith in relationship with all of God's creation. Similar to how the fourth commandment talks about how we should honor our mother, and the mother in the commandment can also be earth. We must care and honor our mother by picking up the trash and doing our part to keep the earth clean. We must honor what God the Father created for us instead of destroying it, and showing our appreciation for the earth that God gave us. We can also show this appreciation by showing that we care about the earth and we can compost and recycle. Another Catholic social teaching is solidarity. Solidarity means valuing our fellow human beings and respecting who they are as individuals. We are one human family regardless of our racial, ethnic, economic, and ideological differences. We are brothers and sisters. This connects us with the commandment, honor your father and mother, because we must value or honor human beings for who they are. We must respect the individual for who they are. This also goes with specifically honoring elders and teachers. An individual must honor the person that they are and respect who they are, like a teacher or an elder. Another example could be a teacher who is a different race than you. They are still a human being and an elder. Therefore, they deserve the same amount of respect and honor as any other person. The apostles once said, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, that it may be well with you and that you may live long on earth." It can be understood that this commandment is telling you to honor many people: earth, God, your biological mother and father, and elders. It also says that we must obey our parents, and that could be used as a form of honoring them and the rules that they have set for their children or students. In the encyclical Laudato Si by Pope Francis, it says, "Saint Francis of Assisi reminds us that our common home is like a sister with whom we share our life and a beautiful mother who opens her arms to embrace us." Just like St. Francis says, taking care of the earth is honoring our mother, and therefore we are called to do so through the fourth commandment. We must embrace our common home. Also, in the encyclical Laudato Si by Pope Francis, he says, "God has entrusted the world to us men and women." St. John Paul II also wrote an encyclical about this topic. He wrote about how we are destroying what God entrusted to men and women. How one must take into account how the earth is a gift. Earth is both a gift from God, so respecting and taking care of it is just a form of honoring what God gave us. And when we don't take care of the earth, we are not honoring God or what He gave us.